Welcome everyone, I'm Ricky from Tech Talk, and today it's my full review on the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3 5G. So we can see it's a 5G device here from that little gold logo on the back there. And this was the first ever 5G handset I've had on the channel, and this was powered by the Vodafone 5G network. So we're going to see how well that done as well a bit later on in the review. But first of all, let's turn it around and actually use the fingerprint sensor that's on the back there. Quick tap and then you're into your display here, quite a large display. So what we're going to do first of all is go around the device, talk about the key aspects, key features, and then a little bit later on we'll have a look at the actual 5G network and how well it performed. So if we start at the top of our device, first of all, at the top here you're going to just find your microphone and you can see the aluminium frame. Down the right hand side of our device you're going to find your volume rockers up here, first of all. Then you have your power button. Sadly there is no textural differences between these two. If we turn down to the bottom here, you will first notice a USB-C in the center, and the battery inside this device is 3,800 mAh. So it's really high and it works really well. When you are using 5G, there is a little bit of an impact, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. It has 18 watts quick charge 4+ and wireless charging at 10 watts. There's no headphone jack, but it does come with an adapter or dongle, as we're used to carrying around with us now. Obviously you have a speaker and also a microphone down here at the bottom. Down the left hand side of the device, first of all, up here at the top is your SIM tray. It is a single SIM here in the UK and also does not offer micro SD card storage option. So please bear that in mind when choosing your sizing options. Down the middle is a Google Assistant button as well. So tapping the Google Assistant button will bring up Google Assistant and you can talk to Google Assistant here and ask any questions that you might need to. Taking a side look profile of our device, its thickness is 8.0 millimeters thick, but when it comes to its weight, it's slightly heavy compared to most other phones. I do believe this is because of certain functions and features that we're going to find on the device, and also 5G makes it potentially a little bit heavier, but the weight of this device is 225 grams. So coming around to the front, and let's talk about our display. And you actually got quite a large display here that's not too interrupted at all, thanks to no notches or no bezels. It's very minimal and it's a really good display as well to enjoy content on, especially when you're streaming in a 5G area. So the screen itself is a 6.39 inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with its resolution at 1080 by 2340, giving you a pixel density of 403 pixels per inch, over 93% screen to body ratio. That's really good, you're getting loads of screen and not too much body. HDR is available and 430 nits, so quite bright here. So my brightness is not all the way up. There you go, it's a really bright display, which is really good to enjoy your content on. And I've really enjoyed actually watching content on this and also doing some social media work. Where are your front cameras? They are hidden with a magnetic slider. So if I do this here, so pulling down the magnetic slider, you get to see the two front-facing cameras. You have a 24 megapixel camera, which is a Sony IMX576 4-in-1 super pixel, 1.8 ultra pixel and large pixels offering in there. Then you have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, which is OCOA10, quite a random sort of generic camera, 1.7 ultra pixel and large pixels. LED flash available from the front-facing camera, and when you come to record video, that can be done at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So that's really handy to have, and some of the photos that come out really well, and you should see them either throughout this video or if not, a selection on my Facebook page and also Instagram, which are linked in the description. Features of the front-facing camera are an in-display light correction, a selfie timer, face recognition, magic mirror, video stabilization, front camera video beauty mode, eye light, AI portrait mode, AI scene detection, AI beautify, AI real-time video background blurring, which I think is a really good option to have, AI studio lighting, AI dynamic bokeh, and AI makeup. So there are loads of features in here, and obviously they're all powered with AI. AI helps to make an image work together with the processors and the software and the image sensors inside to give you beautiful pictures. So turning to the back of our device, you're going to notice the onyx black color here looks really nice, really stylish and really sophisticated. On the back itself is made up of ceramic. Then also the frame is made from 7000 series aluminium frame around the body that you're going to notice. And then the display itself, if I just use fingerprint sensor here to unlock, is actually Corning Gorilla Glass 5, which is going to give you some protection from accidental knocks, bumps and accidental drops. Don't recommend dropping it though. I think it could be an issue if you drop it. Please don't. Please use the free case that is provided as well from Xiaomi. Really nice to just have. Okay, it's a plastic case, but it does offer a free case, and I do recommend using it as well because you do want to protect your device here. So if we turn back around to the back, as you're going to notice, it does love fingerprints. It will take on fingerprints as soon as you touch it and smears. So I always clean this down for when I'm taking photographs or when I'm taking videos. So at the bottom, you've got Mix by Xiaomi, so a bit of branding there. Above that, you've got a gold 5G logo there, just to show off that you've got a 5G handset. Quite nice. The case does hide that though as well, if you don't want to make it too obvious to everyone. Above that is your fingerprint sensor, really quick, really fluid, so easy to set up. I thought it was a little bit too easy. I thought I might have been able to trick it with my other fingers, but no, it's been secure. Then also you have a dual camera setup here. So let's talk about the rear ultra high sensitive AI dual cameras. So the first one is a 12 megapixel Sony IMX363 with a 1.4 ultra pixel, an f1.8 large aperture, dual pixel autofocus. Then you have another 12 megapixel, which is a Samsung S5K 3M3 Plus, 1 ultra pixel, and it also gives you the ability of video recording in multiple different ways. So you've got 4K at 60 or 30 frames per second, you've got 1080p at 60 or 30 frames per second, 720p at 30 frames per second, 1080p slow motion recording at 120, 240 or 960 frames per second, and then 720p slow motion recording at 120, 240 or 960 frames per second. So it depends on you which option you want to choose from there. Again, the camera is full of features and full of different options that you can change and do yourself. It has AI scene detection optimized for 27 different scenes, so you can change and adjust this depending where you are and what you want to take a photograph of. When you're shooting at night, it does have a steady handheld night photography option, which gives you great results depending on what you want to take, of course. Then obviously you have a lot of fun at taking video in slow motion at 960 frames per second, and you can relive each moment in rich detail. So like I said, it does have a fingerprint sensor on here that is actually sat in an ideal location, especially when you've got the case on it as well, because there's a little ring around it. But actually, waking up your display is actually relatively quick and really easy. It's very easy to actually find that fingerprint sensor. I find it's in a natural, easy position to use. Again, you can register multiple different fingers if you so want to. But when your device is unlocked, let's talk about what it's actually using and then moving on to power and performance. The Xiaomi devices use MIUI 10, which is overlaid on top of Android 9. So there is Android in the backbone, but majority of it is MIUI, which is okay. So when you come to this side, you'd normally get the Google feed. Obviously, you can jump into Google, you can jump into Assistant here, but it has different options that you can change and adjust depending on what you want to do. Again, quite a nice little feature here. Pulling down from the top, you're going to see your widget area here. Also, you've got your notifications that you can dismiss one by one, or I can actually clear all of them, making it relatively easy for me. You've got a large brightness bar that I do like here, with an AMOLED display as well. You're going to go either very bright or very dark, depending on your choice. As you can see here, I have a dark theme anyway, preset onto my device. You can also have a light theme depending on your choice. I did make an accessibility video going through all the features and changing the settings to make a device easier for you to use, no matter your ability. We did run into a couple of issues, and these issues still haven't been fixed. I did say that I would update during my review, which is a real shame. I think this is really frustrating that Xiaomi are not listening to journalists and tech reviewers that are showing them the issues, but they're not actually coming back with any response. Again, I will carry on persisting this issue, carry on raising the problems, and hopefully they'll come back with me. I think it can be sorted in a very easy software update. Again, you have your widgets here that are highlighted in blue, loads of different options to choose from, or you can quick jump into settings there. Obviously, we've got our apps in a format where they're just all on our device, or you could use a launcher if you so wish to. Again, everything is fluid, easily moved through the device. You've got 3 capacitive touch buttons down here at the bottom. So you've got your open applications here, which you can dismiss. Again, that looks a little bit different than what you would normally see on a standard Android device. You've got your home button here, which acts as your Google Assistant as well to bring up Google Assistant. And like I said, you could also use the Google Assistant button down here on the left-hand side. pressing that brings that up as well. So different options for different things. Obviously, when you slide your device up and down, it has different options as well. So you could go into different applications, you could return messages, and you can preset that in the settings, and I showed that during the accessibility video. Also, you can change the sound effects as well, so it makes different sounds depending on what options you choose. Then finally, you have your back button here. Like I said, the applications are all on here, they're working absolutely great. Haven't had any issues. The only one thing was the Netflix, which I had to use an APK. Otherwise from that, I haven't had an issue and everything's worked okay application-wise that I wanted to actually use. I decided to show a movie trailer here so we can actually enjoy the display full screen and also listen to the audio. It's only one speaker which is downward firing here at the bottom, but I hope you enjoyed this trailer.
It was another day in Wonderland, and the team was getting ready. Boomer the welcome bear, Steve the safety officer,
Your arms inside the ride at all times.
and Peanut the ride creator.
We're opening the carousel. I've got the finest horses.
I think we can do better.
You're right. I think Peanut deserves better.
Fish! Flying
A
fish!
splendiferous idea.
And when you push the fin, you can fly them all over the park. Do you ever feel like Wonderland is real?
Of course it could be. You can create anything you imagine.
From Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Movies.
Why is this here?
What if the park you always imagined
I'm in Wonderland.
came to life? Skipping to safety, la 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 la.
Everyone calm down.
I'm June. I invented Wonderland when I was little.
Why make a porcupine the safety officer? Seems I have backed into the middle of something. Backing out? Beep, beep. Wonder Park.
Brace for impact!
I'm ready to wake up now. Ready to
Need
wake
to
up.
do that again.
So moving on to CPU and GPU, what's in the engine room? So let's unlock that. So in the engine room, you're going to find the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor, which of course is the latest processor, and which we're going to find on majority of 5G handsets for 2019 and early 2020. This is a 7nm processor with enhanced AI capabilities. Its power is an octa-core processor with one core running at 2.8 GHz, that's a Cairo 485. You've got 3 cores running at 2.42 GHz, and that's a Cairo 485 again. Then you've got 4 cores running at 1.8 GHz, and that's a Cairo 485, which makes 8 cores, which makes an octa-core processor. The GPU is from Adreno, and that's a 640. Again, this is a pretty standard one that we've seen for 2019 flagship devices, and obviously they will step this up and change this in the near future. It has 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of internal storage. Like I said, that might seem quite high, but please note there is no micro SD card option available for this device, as is the 5G variant. Obviously the 4G variants offer dual SIM and slightly different setups anyway, just because they're a little bit different. The 5G chipset needs to be added inside there, and the 5G connectability options need to be added inside the device. This device is capable of VR and AR gaming, so depending if you want to use that, it's really nice to have that ability on here. So let's talk about the 5G and my experience with this device. So first of all, as you're going to notice during my review here, it's going to be a 4G connection. 4G has been very good, very solid, haven't had an issue, no drop calls, no missed data. I've got everything through that I've needed to. So the 5G was a pioneer on this device and been able to reach speeds of 2 gigabits per second on the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3 5G. That's really good all saying and big numbers, but please note, when you get your 5G handset and you go to a Vodafone 5G area, don't expect 2 gigabytes per second. You're not going to receive that. That is future proofing. That is 2020, 2022 sort of speeds. At the moment, the current best I have received during my testing phase in Birmingham was 760 megabits per second, which is really impressive. That is really high. We're not too far off a gigabyte of download speed. Obviously, your upload speed is about 50 megabytes per second, which is considerably different. You would like that to be a bit higher. If you wanted to upload all your images or upload maybe YouTube video, I was expecting that speed to be a little bit higher. The ping was low as well. The ping you need, the latency was quite low. It's not as low as what they say it will be with the updates and when we move into the future and the more rollouts of the network, but really impressed with the way it's worked and been impressed with the way the device has performed. And as I was speaking, I'm going to be showing all different test results through London, and obviously if you go to my Facebook page or my Instagram, which is Tech Talk anyway, and it's linked in the description, you're going to find a whole range of different speed test videos, speed test images from multiple different locations throughout London. So London, I got anywhere between 200 to 290 to 320 megabits per second, which is really high if you consider on my other device I was getting like 40 or 50 megabytes. Obviously on 4G as well in Solihull in Birmingham, I was actually really impressed. I got between 130 and 160 megabytes per second on 4G, which is really impressive. Obviously I was on the boundaries of a 5G network and obviously it didn't switch over, but it's just impressive to see them speeds. And throughout Birmingham, I must admit, throughout the city centre, you're going to get a flat 200 megabits per second wherever you go. My broadband is about 32 megabytes to 37 megabytes per second. That's unbelievable to get 200 flat just walking around with a device in Birmingham. Really impressed. Easily downloaded applications like PUBG, and also we downloaded a movie as well, and I've shown that, and hopefully that should be going through the review. So coming into my final thoughts, and let's highlight the negative first and then give it real positives towards the end. So a couple of negatives are the accessibility issue is serious at the moment with Xiaomi and their Mi UI 10. It needs a massive update, it needs fixing to use certain abilities like select to speak, magnification with buttons and different options. Also accessibility menu doesn't work. This needs an update where it will give you a fourth icon down here. I've asked multiple different people that have these devices, the Mi 9s, the Mi 9T and also the Mi 8 Pros as well, which I had issues with. It's still not there and it's still persistent, which is a shame because if you do need an accessibility option or setting, you're going to be pushed away from a 5G handset because that option is not available. And I really do recommend if you do have one that you go into store, ask to check it before you actually go and buy, because you're potentially buying something that's not usable for you. Also, a little negative is the battery. Yes, it is large. It's 3,800 mAh battery. It charges really quick thanks to USB-C and Quick Charge 4+. That's really helpful, but with 5G, and when you're testing in the 5G areas, I was doing a lot of testing. I was downloading a lot. I was heavy usage, but I got about 9 hours. So that's actually quite good. That's a full day. But you will notice a drain when you are using 5G compared to when you're using 4G. There's not a consistency there. I found quite a quick sudden drop depending what I was doing. Obviously, my testing is not a norm day. It's a different day compared to most when they're using their brand new 5G device. But obviously when you've got this new device, you want to show it off, you want to use it, you want to test the network to its full capacity and really enjoy it. And that's what I wanted to do. Coming into the positives here, really nice looking display, really nice, very bright, very vibrant, very in your face. No notches, no sort of interruptions as well. You can actually have a full screen experience as well. You can really enjoy it. The cameras are fun to use. I had a bit of an issues with my cameras as the gyroscope is the wrong way around. So when I'm taking photographs, it's either in landscape or portrait. If I'm actually shooting in portrait, it's going to be landscape. If I'm shooting in landscape, it's going to be portrait. So it's a little bit confusing. I just think that's a bit of an issue with the sensor inside with my device. Other ones have been absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. The cameras are fun, and powered with AI, you can have a lot of fun with these cameras depending on what you want to take photos of, and also you can use it at nighttime. I have taken a couple of great nighttime shots. The one thing I do like is actually the weight of the device. Being 225 grams, you know you've got a device in your hand and you don't have to quickly pat down your pockets to find out where it is. You know it's there. That's a really good thing. I have liked that. It's a really nice design as well with a ceramic back here. It's a really smart device, really stylish, and I've really enjoyed my time spent with this device. The Mi UI was a little bit less clunky and not in your face. I'd use it so much more. I just prefer the way that Samsung or OnePlus do it compared to what you see from Xiaomi here and the Mi UI 10. I just think it needs a slight update. It's a little bit lackluster, a little bit behind its time now. It just needs a little bit of a boost. But otherwise, using Google Assistant is great. Using the actual device itself and the applications that are on here, no problems whatsoever. Really impressed with it overall, and it's nice to have my first ever 5G device here from Vodafone. So talking about Vodafone, what is the cost of 5G unlimited contract? So their cheapest option is called Unlimited Lite, £29 up front, £56 per month on a 24-month contract. You're going to get unlimited minutes, text and data with a maximum download speed of 2 megabytes per second. So that's from their Lite option. The best option is Unlimited Max with entertainment. So that's £29 up front, £69 per month on a 24-month contract, unlimited minutes, text and data, maximum speed, so you can get the maximum speed. So if you get 780 megabytes per second, that's what you're going to get, and that's what you're going to enjoy, so no cap in your area. Plus also you get the option of Amazon Video, Spotify Premium, Now TV or Sky Sports mobile pack, so you can choose them options as well to add on your bundle for the length of your contract. So again, really good pricing for your first ever 5G handset, and I do recommend you take a look at the Vodafone link in the description. A massive thank you to them for providing this device with me. Sadly, this has got to be returned as it is only a review sample. So I'm saying goodbye to my first ever 5G handset. And from this, would I be interested in getting a 5G handset? Yes, I would be if I'm in them locations. If you're not, I do recommend you hold off at the moment. Obviously, we've seen the likes of Samsung then launch their new Note series now, and hopefully that will be coming on the channel very soon. I have enjoyed my first ever experience of a 5G device from Xiaomi Mi Mix 3 5G here, and also my first ever experience of the Vodafone 5G network. Thank you always for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video. Also, while you're down there, subscribe and ring that notification bell if you haven't already to stay updated with all my latest videos. For me, Ricky, and the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3 5G, I will see you very soon. Bye for now.